All right, here's a story about the Shpola Zayda. We just talked about the Shpola Zayda, the Sab of Shpola, Rabbi Yehuda Aryeh of Shpola. So the story goes like this. Please excuse me if I told the story recently. I know I told the story, but I don't remember if I told it recently. Here we go. A simple Jew living near the city of Shpola or in the city of Shpola on market day would go to the market and he would set up a little table and he would sell his little things. He didn't have much money, so he couldn't really buy much merchandise, but he would sell like buttons and needles and simple small things, thread for people, this maybe patches to put on patches, and he would sell. And he would make a couple of pennies, maybe a couple of dollars, and that would be enough for the month. He would be able to provide for his family for the next month. Well, there came a group of soldiers into the town, soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, whatever. And one of them came over to where he was and reached under his table and he had a little sort of a cup, whatever, that he put all of his money in. And he reached in and he just took the cup, emptied it into his pocket, and walked away. It was the end of the month. So as a result, that was all the money that he had made the whole month. And he yelled at the soldier, "Come back. Hey, what are you doing? You stole my this." And he just walked away. And so he ran after the soldier and he told the person standing next to him, "Please watch my table." Nobody takes, he puts a cloth over it, whatever. And he ran after anybody see the soldier? There was a big soldier. They stole this big soldier. And he runs into the square. Who stole the big soldier? He stole my money. He stole my money. Comes out from a bar, some sort of a big officer, huge guy with a big, what is it, handlebar mustache. And he lifts up this poor Jew, lifts him up and says, "What are you yelling? My soldiers stole your money. My soldiers aren't going to steal money, especially not from a Jew like you, a filthy Jew. What do you mean?" He said, well, so he said, no, one of your soldiers stole my money. I want the money back. So he said, "Oh, really? Okay, listen, tomorrow morning, I make, we just came back from, a big battle or something. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to make, everybody's going to come, we're going to make a, what is it called? Stand at attention. Everyone's going to stand at attention. All the soldiers have to report, and they all stand at attention. There's like 50 soldiers. All of a sudden, you pass in front of the soldiers down the lines. There's going to be 5 lines. Each line has 10 soldiers, and you point out the soldier who stole the money. And if you don't point out the soldier who stole the money, you're going to be beaten." So this poor Jew says, "Well, I got myself, jumped from the fire pan into the fire. I don't know what to do." He said, "You have to come back tomorrow. Let me see your papers." He showed him his papers. He said, "Okay, now I know where you live. You don't show up tomorrow, I'm going to have your whole house burned down. And if you do show up tomorrow and you don't say the right person, then I'm going to have you flogged." So they set the Jew down and says, "Oh, man, what am I going to do now? Now I'm really stuck. I can't run away. I should have just let the whole thing go." So he ran to the Shpola Zaydi. And the Shpola Zaydi told him the whole story. He said, "Don't worry. They have absolutely no worries. Tomorrow, in the morning, when you go to the soldiers are all ordered, they're all standing. As you pass between the soldiers, look at them. The soldier that grinds his teeth, that's the one who stole your money. And point him out." He says, "Okay." So in the early morning, he appears. There's all the soldiers, sure enough, they're standing there, crack of dawn, they're all standing there at attention, huge soldiers, each one. He says, "Jew, you came here. I thought I was going to have to send somebody to burn your house down. Good. Now tell me which soldier stole your money." So he passes by the soldiers. All the soldiers are standing. One soldier are looking down. He says, "This one." He said, "Who stole your money? How do you know?" He said, "He stole my money. I recognize him." So he takes the soldier, the commander, because the soldiers told me, "You stole this Jew's money." He said, "I didn't steal his money. Their money belongs to us. Everything, they're all a bunch of thieves anyway. I just took what his money." He says, "You did? You took the money from him?" He says, "I didn't steal anything. It was all mine. They're the ones that are the thieves." He says, "The Jew was right." He says, give him the money back. Give him his money back. Give him all the money you got in your pouch. Gives him all the money. Take him and beat him. Take the soldier ahead of a beating. So take him on the side and you hear the screams, ah! Meanwhile, the Jew is standing there with this money. The commander says to him, now, Jew, take your money and you're in big trouble. You embarrassed me. You shamed me in front of all my men. I said that no one was a thief and you said that one was a thief. How did you know this person was a thief? How did you know? Said, no, I didn't. Tell me. He lifts up the Jew and starts shaking him. Tell me, how did you know that this was the thief? It couldn't have been you. You saw his face. It couldn't have been. How did you know he was a thief? No, I didn't. It was my rabbi. I have a holy rabbi. Oh, your holy rabbi. I heard about this rabbi. The one in Shpoli. Yes, he says, okay, you tell your rabbi tomorrow morning that he has to come here and he has to explain it to me. And if not, I'll burn your house down and I'll burn his house down. Get out of here. So he leaves, he runs back to the Saba of Shpoli. Says, listen, I'm sorry. I got you into hot water. What are you going to do? What did you do? He said, I said that it was you. He knows that it's you. You told me. I didn't. I was so afraid. I didn't know it was going to have repercussions like this. He said he's going to burn your house down. I'm so sorry. The Saba of Shpoli said, listen, don't worry. Be calm. I'm telling you, this is all according to plan. You didn't do anything wrong. What you did is 100% okay. He says, now, what I want you to do is tomorrow morning go there, tell him, number one, that my rabbi is not going to come. He said, but he'll burn your house down. He said, listen. And he said, tell him my rabbi is not going to come. And if he wants to know what is with him, then he should look into his own pocket. So what do you mean, look at my own pocket? That's what I'm telling you to do. But early the next morning, he goes back and he's really uptight. He doesn't know what to do, but he thinks of the Rebbe's face, he becomes calm. Then he thinks of the commander's face, he becomes nervous. He thinks of the Rebbe's face. Finally, there he is standing. The commander says, oh, you came back, Jew. Good. I was going to have to burn down your houses. Where's your big rabbi, your holy rabbi? He says he's not going to come. What? Not going to come? I'll show you. He takes out his gun. He says, I'll show you. He said, no, but he said something else. He said that if you want to know what's happening with yourself, look in your pocket. What? He's telling me what to look at my pocket. Which pocket? What do you mean? He puts his gun back. He takes it, and looks in his pocket. He's got an envelope. Takes the envelope, opens it up, reads the letter, takes out his gun, puts it to his own head, and kills himself. Shoots himself in front of all the men. And everyone's running around and they're all screaming and they're yelling and that. Right? Meanwhile, this Jew just makes his getaway. Goes back to the Rebbe. The Rebbe said, what happened? He shot himself? He said, yeah, he shot himself. How did you know? He said, I'll tell you. He said, that commander was an evil man. He was an evil person. He had a plan made that he was going to kill the king. And he sent a letter and make himself king. That's what he wanted to do. So he sent a letter. He had an assassin. He hired an assassin. And he wrote a letter to this assassin telling him that the king was going to be in such and such a place, talking to him at such and such a time. He could come and kill the king then. There wouldn't be any. And the other letter he wrote, he sent to the king. And that letter he sent to the king yesterday. And that letter said, meet me at such and such a place. And I have an important message to give to you. Important message to give to you. He said, but by mistake, he sent the letter of the assassin, he sent it to the king. So the king already knew that he was planning to kill him. The letter that he was supposed to send to the king, meet me at such and such a place, he sent to the assassin. So the letter had no meaning whatsoever to it whatsoever, right? If things would have gone regularly the way it was, so he would have met the king and the assassin wouldn't have come. It could have been that he would have gotten away. He could have made some excuse, something, whatever, because the assassin wouldn't have come. The assassin only got a letter that told the king to meet him and such, didn't tell him to. But now when he opened it up, he read the letter, he became so confused. He became so afraid that the king was going to come and kill him that he did the job himself. He killed himself. And that's how he arranged the whole entire thing. The whole thing was just arranged just so that this commander should finish himself off, due to himself what he wanted to do to others. Same it is also with the Mashiach. He'll arrange everything that the truly evil people, they'll destroy themselves. We won't have to worry about it. And all the good will be revealed with Mashiach now. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow.